into the bowl semi-final.
Well, straight up the final quarter-final in this bowl competition between Japan and the Philippines. Well, Japan dropped into the bowl after defeats to Scotland and South Africa, and a draw against Russia sees them paired against the Philippines, who have failed to win a match. Well, Philippines, the brothers Matthew and Oliver Saunders have been in great form for the Philippines despite their 3 losses. Michael Letts captains the side, whilst a lot of the play surrounds Justin Coveney wearing the number 7 jersey. Well, for Japan, they have great experience in Lotte Takiri. Kuwazaru, there he is wearing the number 2 jersey, not the player holding the Japan flag behind the graphic. Keep an eye out for Katazuki Sakai, the diminutive scrum half, who's a great little playmaker. And our referee, James Umbalumbo from Fiji. So who is going to take their place? The final slot in this bowl competition. Uruguay, Russia, Georgia are all through. Japan, Philippines play out for that last slot, and to take something away from their experience in the Rugby World Cup Sevens here in Moscow.
Well, the great part of holding tournaments like this, even though you might not have won a game on day 1 and 2, you still have an opportunity to take some silverware away on day 3, and both of these teams will have that in the back of their mind. Japan very disappointed with their efforts yesterday.
Jake Letts throws the ball in and receives it straight back from the line-out. So early possession. Here's Letts once again, interception pass. Takiri in, so the mistake from Philippines. Jake Letts lets Lotte Takiri in for the opening try for Japan, and that's bonus time for the Brave Blossoms.
Scott, you highlighted this guy, Lotte Takiri, in the build-up, and just watch him here. Ill-advised pass here from Jake Letts. Didn't see Takiri hanging in the background in defence, and he read it well. But the Japanese Takiri, look at him there, just puts the big right-hand Fijian hand out, grabs it, puts it down.
And the additional 2 points comes in from Katsuyuki Sakai. So Lotte Takiri there plays for the Hokkaido Barbarians. It's a club team as opposed to a corporation team in Japan, and Japan, no doubt, will take heart for the magnificent win that the 15s had against Wales 2 weeks ago in Tokyo. That game they won by 23 points to 8, and of course with the Rugby World Cup coming up in 2019, that's in the 15s code. There's an awful lot expected with the growth of the game in Japan.
A lot of advancements going over land of the rising sun. They really do admire and love their rugby union. There's high hopes going forward. Also in the 7-a-side game. Now Takiri, he's going to be the man to watch again in midfield. Big number 1.
Wait for the ball. Okay.
Interesting how they've changed him. He's normally a front row forward. They've obviously decided to target the use him as a strike runner in the centre position, Carl.
Yes, indeed. And there from the scrum, great break by Sakai, the captain.
Sakai gets the support of Kuwazaru, the most experienced player within this team, but it's just a matter of putting the ball through the hands. Japan have got the extra man. This is him. Kazushi Hano. Hano gets the flip pass round to the support of Hashino, and Hashino, lovely play from Japan. They used the ball so well and passed out of contact. Kazuki Hashino in for the second try for Japan.
That's great work by Kohara, the number 11. Takiri is the one, goes from centre and releases that ball from halfback. Just watch this footwork here in between 2 defenders. The left foot step by Hashino takes out 2 defenders, and then the passing contact.
Yep.
Great work.
A nice little play from Hashino. Just brings the conversion round just to a slightly better angle. Kick is once again good from Katazuki Sakai.
It's amazing just watching the body language of players. Yesterday, the Japanese side. They were down. You see Al Caravelli, the Philippines coach, but just looking at them here, they're all keen. They got the ball and they're running forward to Kiri for a second.
Well, Japan are ripping the Philippines apart. It's all about possession. And Japan, well, as you said, they've come out strongly, Carl. And Philippines' defensive frailty being exposed.
Highlighted it too, Scott. Just moving Takiri, I think, from the forwards into the backs has given him a lot more time and space, enthusiasm. He's had to do a lot of hard work yesterday and the day before, but now he's got some more energy. Not having to make so much tackles, take the physical contact. He's running nice and free and enjoying himself.
So the Japanese captain slots the conversion. That's his fifth of the tournament to add to the try that he scored against Russia. That 12-all draw yesterday. Japan in the opening day, day one, lost to Scotland by 17 points to 19. In fact, Sakai had a conversion from out wide that if he'd nailed it, he would have had a draw against Scotland. So they pushed the Scots hard.
Okay.
Philippines just had no ball whatsoever, all from the kickoff, and Japan are going to have a feed into the scrum as they go all the way to the far side of the field out wide.
Well, Michael Letts there, he was shown in the shot wearing that number 10 jersey. He plays for the Toyota Shokai in Nagoya in Japan, so you'll know a lot about these Japanese players, having played against them in domestic competition. Takiri, the little wraparound pass with Hashino. Takiri, as you can see, look at the leg strength coming in. Kuwazuru, the most experienced player, offloads the ball. The Philippines guilty of playing the ball on the deck. Andrew Wolf penalised on that occasion for the Philippines. Japan just using the ball so well. And Shota Emai in for Japan's fourth try. It's one-way traffic here for Japan.
Yeah, Fayamani wanting to get his hands on the ball. The big number 4 for Japan takes the contact, and then great running line there by Emi. Comes in on the angle, bounces back out.
Well, there's a real relish to their play at the moment, Carl, and they've certainly come out at the start of this first half, and they've absolutely nailed this performance.
Quite smart there by the captain, Sakai too, from Japan, knowing that his team's out to a healthy lead. It's all about conservation of energy now. Taking a long time to take that conversion. Give us boys a rest.
High hanging kick lands well for the Philippines now. What can they do? Andrew Wolf spilt pass though. Takiri picks up, counter-attacks on. So Japan fancy with 7 seconds on the clock. Another try. No sweeper being played, so the kick and chase. It's a foot race from here. Who's got the speed? And also the bounce of the ball. Superb covering tackle, but Takiri up in support. Oh, slip of the ball. Not quite held. Well, Japan would have loved to have scored that long-range effort. Look at the despair on Lotte Takiri's face.
Well, he would have been in for his treble too, the big number 1. Missed opportunity, but well ahead. Dominant this performance. It was a good run initially from Hano. The ball bounced up. Good chase, though, you'd have to say, also by Matthew Saunders, getting back in a second. Good determination there.
Well, Japan well in the lead. Tomohiro Sagawa for Japan. He's the coach. Let's listen in.
でロケフォワードに上がってで成田
Let them have it. Let's go out and play pressure defense. If they're pressuring us, look for the bounce back. Okay? Just reload quickly and just bounce back. All right? Come on. Let's start over.
When we get that ball, it's like a fucking piece of gold. We've got to...
Well, to the viewers around the world, we apologise for some misappropriate language. But it's all about the intensity in the huddle sometimes. And Caravelli, well, he's very softly spoken, and I know within a coach's armoury there's often the the opportunity to raise levels of intensity, but Sevens needs composure, and what he's asked his players to do is give it all. In the next 7 minutes, just give everything to the cause, because this is knockout rugby on day 3 here. It's a brutal game, 7 minutes each way, Carl, and really the tie is over for the Philippines, but one try gets them back in the game, gives them some confidence to go forward.
That's what it's all about, you know. They're not out by any stretch of the imagination. They had to be the next to score. Empty the tank, he said. Age-old adage in the game of sevens. You lose, you're gone. You win, you have to fight for another round.
Well, that's on the 10-yard line, so on is over. But again, Japan sharp. Kazushi Hano trapped down. Good tackle again coming in from Matthew Saunders. He's done some great covering work. Takiri knocks the ball out of a Philippine hand. But there just seems to be a sharpness about this Japanese team, which I've liked. We saw in fits and starts on days 1 and 2.
Yeah, most complete performance by far from the Japanese, and some weak defence here by the Philippines. Just throwing arms, you've got to get the shoulders in.
Jake Letts, his brother Michael, is captain.
And that'll be the key for Japan, is trying to keep their same levels of intensity, trying to keep their foot on the throat. They know they've got into a big lead. They can't just sit back now and relax.
Well, all sorts of colours on the footwear of players nowadays.
I was going to say, would you wear pink boots back at yours?
I'd be in trouble in my household if I wore pink boots. But all part of the glamour of international sevens. Of course, there's the IRB World Series goes throughout the season. This is such fun in places such as Vegas and Hong Kong and Dubai. It's a marvellous sport to be involved in, and an honour to be here, certainly in Moscow. Well, if you're into your social media, let's hear from you. There's some great tries. We'd like to know what's your favourite try, what's your favourite action. Let's get you trending across Twitter world. Hashtag RWC7s, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. So if you've got some comment, we'd love to hear from you. We actually got one the other day from the International Space Station. It's amazing to think that they're watching this all the way up there. So Philippines in pressure on the scrum. Jake Letts. Now, what can be done from deep, from the 22? This is Matthew Saunders. Saunders, who's had some great footwork. And ball taken away by Michael Letts. Michael's the captain, his brother. Jake Letts is 5. That's him just passing the ball there. Now into the contact goes Andrew Wolf, the Alabang Eagles player. Wolfie, they call him. Well, pressure just coming on from Japan, and they've got the possession. Flick pass advantage being played. Simple as you like. Katsuyuki Saka in for the try.
Just the showmanship of sevens there. Sakai is a recipient of that 5-point, but it come down again to Lote Takiri, who has dominated this game. He scored 2 tries, but in defence he's been good too. See him there just stripping the ball away from Jake Letts. Good awareness here, just to get it out left where the captain was.
Keep it up, keep it up.
Nothing much in that, just a horse collar.
Well, they went to shake hands, didn't they? It's part of the sportsmanship of this great game of rugby union that we often admire.
Okay.
And it's we often ignore, but it is it's such a physical contact sport, and yet we are able to shake a hand at the end of the game.
Yes, the next situation, a lot of these teams live out in each other's pockets, stay in the same hotels, catch the same buses, train in the same facilities. There's a camaraderie there for sure.
So Japan well in control here in this final quarterfinal. Brilliant play here by Japan, and a superb try. Nice easy touchdown and great score for the replacement Narita.
Well, I wondered if they were going to be able to hold their intensity, and they showed me that they can. Narita there straight from the kickoff. Very quick feet. See the cadence on him. He's turning him over at 100 miles an hour. He's pretty good on the stepping too. See that big right foot step.
That's lovely play, isn't it? You stand back here, you admire the shots, the individual skill, and this is a skill that you practice at the training sessions with your club as you're a kid growing up in the back garden. So Japan will secure their place in the second semi-final, and they'll be up against Georgia. Georgia, who play a very different style of sevens, far more physical than perhaps Japan, but Japan have been allowed to show their brilliant skills. And here's the try scorer, Narita. Oh, an inside angle and cut here. Brilliant try there for Kohara. And Japan in full flow in this tie, Carlton Anna.
Yes, indeed. The Philippines' defensive structure has been totally annihilated. Just a couple of left foot steps by Narita, who scored a try only moments earlier, and a good pass there to Kohara. It's the ability to step at speed which throws the defence off, and we don't have any cover coming on the inside. In the case of the Philippines over chasing it, it's easy to break.
Well, Caravelli, he'll be frustrated. He's put an awful lot of work into this Philippines team. I was speaking to back in the IRB Sevens tournament back in May at Twickenham when over 70,000 people attended, and he was doing his analysis for all the teams, and he had high hopes this team would do well. Remember, this is history, boys. These boys are the first team ever to represent their country in a World Cup event. So can they finish off with a score on the board? They're attacking from deep. Scrappy pass on the far side. Ten-yard line, but again, we've seen Japan flood that contact area. Jeetlets taps and goes up to the halfway line then. He's got men over. Wider pass on the far side here to Gareth Holgate. Holgate, who scored their first ever try against Kenya in a Rugby World Cup, so his name will go down in the history books. But again, look at the physicality of Japan. Turning possession over, and this is just a run-in. Brilliant try there for Shitsu Narita.
We spoke about it, just hitting those breakdowns as Whaia Mani for Japan, creating the turnover, and Narita will get a second score, the replacement in this second half. Here's the turnover down the short side. A lot of space. Again, great technique there from Narita.
Well, once Carl saw Fiji put over 100 points in seven-a-side rugby past Zambia in Dubai. Japan have gone past the 50 level, and that's the highest score over this last couple of days of action. So quite a thumping, quite a result. Japan will move through to the semi-final, I should say, of the poll, and that will be against Georgia. Philippines, well, they've learned from this experience. It's been great to have them here in Moscow full time. Japan 50, Philippines 0.
Certainly has.